Hey guys, my name's Ben with Dissent Offroad. Today we're excited. We're going to show you our brand new 2025 LX700h equipped with 74 weld portals. I think it's the first of its kind. We installed these on here a couple weeks ago, and we've been driving it, wheeling it, and testing it out, and super stoked with how it turned out. So we'll start with the front and kind of walk you around the whole vehicle. So we've got our low profile, Dissent Offroad low profile steel bumper. So this is a modular bumper. Retains all the OEM and factory parking sensors, radar, everything still function as intended. We've got that paired with a Baja Designs S8 light bar. And then we've got triple fog lights. So these are the Baja Designs SAE fog lights. Those match the triple projectors there. Inside the bumper is a come-up winch, 12.5 Solo, Agency 6 shackle. Before we move around, let me pop the hood. I'll show you what we got under there. As you can see, we got Baja Designs rock lights. I've got it trigger wired into our S-Pod. So that is triggered on, so I can switch it on the S-Pod switch panel, but also it comes on automatically when we open the door with the courtesy lights. Show you under here. Not a lot of room on this is a twin turbo hybrid. The Overtrail comes with factory lockers front and rear and a center diff, which is pretty sweet. We've got our S-Pod unit mounted here just above all the hybrid stuff, which is fit in pretty cleanly. We've also got, I guess we'll show you under here too. So we get asked a lot why we have two snorkels. This is a twin turbo, which means we got intakes on both sides. So both of those are functional. We've got it fully ducted under this with custom aluminum ducting up to those snorkels. So it is a full sealed intake. Winch wiring, a battery's in the back, so we have to run wires all the way up front. So we make a bracket and a mount here to relocate our, have a 12 volt circuit essentially under the hood. All right, so moving around to the side, obviously you can see the snorkel here. But again, I want to show you the tires, what we did to fit a 37 12.5 Nitto trail grappler on an Icon plus 40 Recon wheel. The main thing that allowed us to fit this is the 74 weld portals. Pretty sweet setup. You cannot fit much larger than a 35, and even a 35 on these rubs. But the other thing this vehicle is equipped with is the active height control. So it's a hydraulic suspension all the way around. You cannot eliminate that. You can't really change it. So you can't lift these. You have a push of a button. You can raise it, lower it, but you don't have a full control of that. The 74 weld portals lift this 3.88 inches at the hub. So we got tons of clearance, but also now our full bump is 3.8 inches lower than it was from the factory. So we are actually very minimal trimming here. We've taken a tiny bit out of the corners, tiny bit out of here, no rubbing whatsoever up at the top. That is not achievable without the portals. So pretty cool to be able to fit these tires. Also, it's worth noting, we did go with a plus 40 wheel to keep that inset, the portals at, I think like 2.77 inches, something like that, of width. So we've added a plus 50 fender flare from Artisan Spirits. This is a carbon flare. Gets us a nice flush fitment. The tires don't poke a lot. Keeps the side of the vehicle clean. So as far as suspension mods go, we're on the factory active height control. We did upgrade the Icon billet upper control arms. This does have the height sensor for the suspension here. Those do accommodate that. And then the rear, we just did their billet lowers. These are all the same as the GX, pretty much all the new platforms, the Land Cruiser 250, GX 550. As you can see, we've got our aluminum step slider. This has a full, so under here there is all of our globes for the hydraulic suspension are tucked up here. So you can't really get a good frame mount slider without pulling a lot of that stuff off. So we're actually mounted to the body here. We have tested it. It's a very solid setup. But the nice thing about this is we've cut this plastic trim. We've raised that slider up several inches. So we've gained a lot of clearance. And then we have a full skid system over all of our active height control globes. So up on the roof, we have our XL linkable. I think we got, what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8 lights on there. So that fit pretty nicely. No wind noise. We got it nice and low. The top of the rack is slightly higher than the light bar. So we can run longer items on the rack and not have it interfere with the light bar. This is our rack here. The LX700 is kind of a tricky platform. They've got a factory roof rail. There's no actual bolt points on that roof. So a lot of companies, they will either drill into that rail or you have to drop the headliner. We actually made, you can't see it, but we made a pretty cool clamping mechanism that literally just sandwiches around that factory rail. As you can see, we've got the S2 Sports on our custom mounts here. So these are pretty cool. You can swivel them, aim them up, aim them down, aim them out. They're on, you just got nylon washers on that pivot. So nice and solid, but easy to aim. Agency 6 grab handles. We actually coated those. So we kept kind of the matte and gloss theme from the factory. So we did the gloss flares. We did some gloss accent. We custom powder coated these in gloss. All of our Agency 6 stuff went with the gloss wheels, Icon wheels. So it came out pretty nice. And then we have a full matte PPF over the factory earth color. All right, so we'll show you what we got up top. We've got on both sides, we've got the Pelican Air 1755 case. So this is kind of their longest, tallest rifle case. We've got this side outfitted with kind of all of our recovery gear, basically everything we want to keep in the vehicle at all times. So I've got my tools, my recovery gear, Agency 6 soft shackles, stoves, just tire repair, glue treads, radios, kind of everything we want to keep in the truck. Cargo space is pretty limited in here, so these cases are a big must on the top here. We've also got 5 gallons of fuel. I don't have it up here now. We've got the mount here you can see for our Star Bat. So that is our Starlink Mini. They make a pretty cool setup that houses that in a nice case, and it's fully self-contained. We can run the Starlink for like 24 hours. All right, so in the rear, we've got our low profile. This is an aluminum steel hybrid bumper. So we offer 2 different versions. We got our high clearance, which cuts up real high with our dual swing out. And then also we got a high clearance for the front. This one we decided to go with the low pro, front and rear, no swing outs. These wings are aluminum. They basically match the factory lower plastics. We removed those, so we actually don't even have to cut this portion here. All the parking sensors get moved into the bumper, with the exception of the corner one stays where it was located from the factory. And we gain a good bit of clearance on these corners with the bumper. We've incorporated some S2 Pros in the back, wired into our reverse lights. You can also see we've maintained the gloss accents with our logo badges. We engraved those. On the hatch here, we kind of were running out of space on the rack to cleanly mount our shovel. So Agency 6 actually has this earth shovel. This is a factory color they offer. It just so happened to match the color of the vehicle quite well. So we made a license plate mount and mounted the Agency 6 mount right there to the back. Let me show you inside here. Haven't done a ton. We still got a lot to do on the interior here. Let's turn on. So we've got, there's no, which is kind of crazy for a $120,000 vehicle. They have 0 lights on the hatch here. But fortunately, we got good brands. We got Kingpin equipped lights we mounted up here. These are their 12-inch lights. We normally run the 40, but the curvature of this hatch didn't really allow that. But these are aimable. I can aim them into the cargo area. We've added their rotary dimmer switch, so they're dimmable. You can change them to red. So pretty cool setup. In the rear here, again, we're going to do kind of a full drawer system, or half drawer system with air down gear up. Right now, we've just done a little bit of eliminating the weird cargo shelf. We've just got this fridge. It's basically all I could fit back here. We've wired in Dakota lithium battery in the back here. So we've upgraded that to so this is where the factory battery is. So we've put a battery monitor. We've got all of our accessories wired to that, so a lot of our lighting, our scene lighting, and then we've got it wired to a low voltage shutoff, so it won't ever run the battery down to a point the vehicle won't start. And that's been working really good. We can run this little fridge, we can run our lights for several days without going low enough to not start the vehicle. So as we mentioned, this is a twin turbo 6-cylinder hybrid. The battery is in the back. That's why we don't have a ton of cargo space back there. But again, drivability, power-wise, is pretty insane. Power delivery is pretty insane. But the cool thing is Lexus gave us on this hybrid system, it's kind of a full standalone system. So we've got an actual alternator, we've got a starter. It cycles between the two. So the Lexus claims if you have a failure or if your battery goes bad, you can 100% drive this on just the gas engine. It does not rely on the hybrid system. So pretty cool. It lets you, that's a lot of people's concern with the hybrid is if you have a failure out in the middle of nowhere, you're stranded. With this type of system, Lexus claims that will not happen. It will get you out. You can drive home on it. So pretty cool. So one thing super cool about this truck on the portals is actually, like, we get the question asked all the time, like people do not realize it is on portals. So that is because of the kind of the pairing of the 74 well portals. They've really done a great job of keeping them tucked in tight, also not going too crazy on the lift. But also with pairing that with the factory active height control, we are in our normal mode. So this is essentially stock height, maybe a little lower than what you would on a traditional suspension. All of our CVs, all of our tie rods, everything are perfectly flat. Because of that width not being crazy wide, 2.77 inches, I believe. Some of the others are like almost 5 inches of added width. We were able to get these flares, keep that tucked in, and just kind of build the ultimate, the goal with this was the ultimate luxury off-road vehicle, something that's just as home in the city and the urban life, but you can take this on any type of trail and it performs flawlessly. It's pretty wild how well it works. Cool, so yeah, we hope you guys like this build. We're pretty stoked about it. If you guys are interested in inquiring on us doing something similar, we do everything from mild to wild. We can do as much as just wheels and tires or a full build like this with portals. You can see more on this rig, other rigs we've got. We've got a Land Cruiser 250. I'm sure a lot of you have seen around on 74 well portals as well, 40-inch tires, more of a wild rock crawler build. We've got a lot of content on this one coming, so our YouTube channel, Dissent Offroad, Instagram, Dissent Offroad. Check us out, give us a follow, and you can watch what we're doing with these vehicles.